All right, everyone. Welcome back to another great episode of Basscast Radio. Boys are back. Thomas is back in the house. Bass Geek is on the JOB, but he is back with us in the studio tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody has had a great week. You guys all know fall fishing's here. You know, it's weird because we had that cool week a couple weeks ago, and then now it's done ramp back up. And I think I saw on the weather today it's supposed to be like the mid 80s through the rest of September. So hopefully in October we'll start seeing the water temperatures drop before the fall Bass Cast Tournament Trail event begins. But you guys know the basscast.com was on. We covered two tournaments this past weekend. We talked about it on the show. Jeff and Clay Ross ended up winning the Bass Nation of Virginia event. So that was a good win for them. And it was, I have to scroll down here, Geek. Landon Lawson and Colin Cave from your part of the country, Bass Geek, because they said they fish South Holston all the time.
I was going to say Landon Lawson, I know.
They end up taking home $10,000 at the 94.9 Star Country. 5 smallmouth, total weight 1785. Dude, that's like freaking awesome for that body of water. I mean, like I said, he just took his knowledge from South Holston, took it up there, practiced for a day, and came back and took the money, honey.
They're two good anglers. I know Landon's a very good angler.
So congratulations to.
I'm not wrong. I believe Landon fished for Carson Newman.
Yes, he said something about fishing college. You're right.
Yeah, so he's actually from my area, like over on the Virginia side.
Okay. He said he brought Colin along to be a net man.
I have no doubts.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So because, he's fishing for all smallmouth, he didn't want to lose them. We all know that they can be feisty, finicky, and jump off at the boat. So he wanted to make sure he got them in the live well.
Can't blame him there. I know what it feels like to lose them. I had 2 over 3 on that zigzag and a head and spook 2 days ago. Broke my line. Made me sad. Didn't get my bait back. I was upset. I caught one.
Congratulations to them both. And you guys know, I'm not sure what the plan. I don't think we're going to do much this past weekend coming up, but the following weekend we got some bass and we got some Major League Fishing events. The BFL Shenandoah Division, all that stuff's kicking back up. What is that called? I cannot remember what that
BFL is. Super Duper Regional Tournament, something like that.
I mean, so much of this shit before you make
BFL, super tournaments.
And you have to pay for it.
Tournaments are coming up.
Well, you've always had to pay for the supers, not the regionals. The
regionals. You forgot.
Those are in October. The regionals.
Well, this is October. So
it might be a regional.
It will be October by the end.
On this episode.
September has sucked for me, all right? It has sucked. Like, it's flown by, but I've been sick. My boat trailer's been in the shop. We ain't put out no damn videos. It's been a shit show.
Yeah, September hasn't been great for everybody here, guys. So
we're just getting back into it. Great. Every time I've gone, it's like, oh, damn, we're catching good fish.
When? Yeah.
But when I've got to go, that's the problem. It's been like twice all month, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you guys if anybody wants to look at the graph for the basscast.com in this month, it like takes off real high and then it like just drops. And then from there, it just like levels out. It's like these little heartbeats. And thank God for a great weekend. And heartbeat went back up. So anybody want to talk about September? It has been rough. I'm glad I'm not living on it. Let's just say that much. I can tell you that. But it's expected. We know, October, November kicks back in gear. And, the Basscast Tournament Trail will start back up in October. So head on over now to the basscast.com and get registered for that. Cat, their events will start back up, the fall events. I think a couple of them started last weekend. So we got that left. There's a Bass Nation of Virginia Championship that'll be taking place on Smith Mountain Lake coming up. So there's still a lot of great fishing ahead and the fall bite. And for you guys who love fishing in the fall and watched last week's episode with Chad Green, dude, me and Bass Geek just pretty much listen. Ain't that right?
Yeah. But let me say this. Hunting season's around the corner. So all you guys that love to hunt, you go get them. Go get them. Yeah. Get off.
Leave them fish alone.
Go hunting. It's great for you.
Leave them fish alone. So we had me, Bass Geek, and Chad Green on last week. Hopefully you guys all had a chance to take a listen to that. Chad dropped a lot of information, a lot of tips on Smith Mountain Lake. So head on back and take a listen. But guys, like I said earlier, back in the house, Thomas Aarons Fishing the DMV, pumping out the content. Me and Thomas got to watch each other because we sometimes like jump on top of each other on shows and picking up guests. So I kind of been laying low. I'm surprised we haven't seen a show yet, Thomas, with the boys with your homies that fish the Rivers and Roads, that event from a week ago. So,
stay tuned right there with that.
That's
as you
what
guys
I figured,
know,
so.
I got a little too carried away. I had going into September, I had like 15 shows in the queue, and I realized because of the content, I had to get that out before I could get new shows. So September, I decided would be a sabbatical month where there's only one or two new recordings, everything else just getting it out there. So October, I can kind of start out fresh. The Mid-Atlantic has so much stuff from, we talked about Manhattan, the striper situation, bass fishing, crappie fishing. I have one about that. Like, there's just so much going on, dude. It's crazy. Like how many opportunities we have, whether you're chasing largemouth, smallmouth, all of it.
Yeah, I've seen, I was on social media today, saw some nice looking football looking crappie today. So
we're getting back into that season too, dude. Like and that's the thing, smallmouth, like we're getting into peak smallmouth season starting late October-ish, going into the wintertime. All these rivers around us are going to be really heating up with our jet boat guys.
We just need the water temperature to drop just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We still,
it's a really Indian summer.
It has been.
Yeah, it's there was a cold front about a week and a half. I got to go out about a week and a half ago, went out there and just smashed them. And then we were out 2 days ago, I think, Monday, and we caught them, but man, it was a grind, dude. Like it
really,
was a grind. They were, they were staged where we expected them to be staged, and I mean, just there were hundreds there, but it was just like they wouldn't touch a top water.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's like, I mean, they just wouldn't eat. They were not eating. So
yeah, we definitely, for that top water bite, need the water temperature to drop a little bit more.
That's a show we can do. I'm just joking with my buddy Mike. The old saying is it's easy to catch them, hard to find them. I don't know. I think forward facing sonar is proving it's a hell of a lot harder to catch them at times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that line's reversed.
And this year specifically, man, the top water bite has just been off, and it's something where I forget who the heck I interviewed about it, but then I started asking, and it seems like generically speaking, everyone agrees. Like for some reason, it just was not as good as it could have been like in years prior.
Yeah. The top water bite has been lackluster to say the least. There'd be a few days, when it'd be all right, but other than that, it's just really never been as good as it has been over the past, 5-6 years.
Does it feel like right now there's like a calm before the storm? I remember last year this time, everything was about forward-facing sonar, the drama between the three organizations changing things up. Right now, it seems relatively quiet compared to last year.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, it's like not the drama's kind of. I mean, besides another DQ a week ago, and we can talk about that real quick, everybody. Iaconelli brought that up. I think he said out of the 9 events, they had 4 disqualifications this past year.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost about half the events there was a DQ for polygraph test failure.
Is it becoming like pew pew violence where people are just less, just don't care as much now? It's just kind of numb the soul.
It's interesting because you can have one of two minds. You could be like, okay, well, the way that they're going about testing is there's a failure with the polygraph. Okay, cool. That's mind one. But mind number two is there that many people that would be failing it? Isn't it one of the two? And it's interesting how everyone wants to rush to the latter of like, well, it's clearly the equipment's fault. It's not that you could have this many DQs happening. So I don't know.
Well, I had a guy in the military tell me that you just clench your butthole every time they ask you a question. You'll pass every polygraph you'll ever take.
Is that a normal bar conversation that you have? Like, how does one stumble upon that in casual conversation?
Hey, look,
And I think this is something that's interesting with all the stuff that's going on in fishing is the definition of what cheating is. And in baseball, you can balk, you can have interference, and okay,
Right.
the person is out, but you don't label them as a cheater. There are certain things that you do in a sport that we do label as, okay, this is clearly cheating versus this is just like a rule was broken. It is what it is. But I feel like in fishing right now, we're so trigger happy to label every freaking thing as just cheater. Let's just blanket that statement. And it's a little repulsive.
Yeah. It's, the same thing, in football, there's a flag, it's a penalty, in NASCAR, you get penalties if you're, side penalties aren't exactly right, or your, spoiler isn't quite at the angle that it should be. But it seems like everything in bass fishing, it's not a penalty, it's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're going about labeling a lot of things the wrong way.
I think it's bad because it's just bad for the sport. It's just bad because it creates this. The tribal culture is kind of, I think, at its zenith, especially with the scope and all that other stuff that we've talked about ad nauseum. But now you get the stuff with whether it's boat tournaments, kayak tournaments, whatever, the polygraphs being failed. Like, okay, let's label him as a cheater. It's like, or it's just a penalty because, okay, he didn't buckle his life jacket or what have you. Like that shouldn't be labeled the same as he's got a fish trap that he's pulling him out of.
And I mean, even with something
I agree with that too.
Even with something
he was also
like that,
fined. So I mean, fined $2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was an MPFL event, and the kid just didn't put his life jacket on when he started the big motor.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they disqualified his catch right from like that point. I think that's one of the problems is we don't have if you hold as an offensive lineman, it's 5 yards.
Yeah.
If you bring in a dead fish, it's a pound, 2 pound deduction. Well, why don't we have that same sort of penalty structure? Because I mean, come on, look, I mean, I get it. Everybody should be wearing their life vest when the big motor's on. But, it's not an egregious penalty if you, accidentally don't put your life vest on. Why shouldn't it be a 2 pound penalty or a 1 pound penalty or something like that? Or you pull up and you might know that you're catching the same fish off of a bed, then maybe disqualify that second fish, right? I mean, I think that curbs the whole, he's cheating. He knew it, he's cheating. I mean, it should be a penalty. Why don't we have set penalties in place for that?
Yeah.
And that would, like you said, because the term cheating and cheater carries a lot of weight with it. And, I think to the detriment of the sport, the fishermen, I mean, because you get labeled as cheating one time and it can hurt your career forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact is, like, we need to have this moving scale, and we even have it in a court of law, first degree versus manslaughter. We need that for all these rules. We need that completely readjusted, rehauled. Do I still think we need the metaphorical death penalty in fishing? Absolutely, we need that. But if we cross that, whether it's a big famous angler or a rookie, that must be enforced. But then also have minor offenses. It's like, okay, listen, yeah, you broke this one little, like, you ran a no wake zone. Cool. Is that cheating? That's not really cheating. There's no advantage there.
Should your entire day's catch be disqualified for that?
Yeah,
I mean, that. It needs to be a big enough penalty where you're not like, screw it, I got 35 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. But should your whole tournament be ruined?
Yeah.
I don't, because it's their livelihood too. And if it was a professional sport, let's say football, you'd be fined. You'd be sat a game, something like that. But you wouldn't just have your whole season ruined because of a minor offense like that. 100%. Something could be. But you're right though. You got to also figure it out. It's like, okay, well, if it's worth me pushing it that far and I make $20,000, I'll pay a $2,000 fine. That's what people do on Wall Street all the time. They'll pay that tax. So what is the right feasible amount? But when you're saying let's disqualify you from the whole event, I don't know. My gut tells me, like, maybe that's not right. Have them go out last that day or what have you.
Yeah, time limit penalty. You have to be said. I mean, MLF has kind of done that. It looks like they would kind of spread that throughout a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to bring up is MPFL. We've heard of other anglers getting fined in MPFL and Major League Fishing, and they don't really do the whole cheating thing. You know what I'm saying? They just fine them. Here, give me $50,000 for your information.
Yeah, and they build it into their culture. Yeah, right. I think that's something that they are, again, giving them some credit. They did really well. Is that okay? Every time you can hear it in your head, like, Kevin Van Dam, that's going to be a 2-minute fish landing violation penalty. Or I like it when Shryock is like, you can jump out of the boat, but it's going to be 5 minutes or 15 minutes. And like, I'll take the penalty and I'll go do it.
Or you can pick up 2 rods.
Pick up 2 rods.
It's a 5-minute penalty, but
But they've trained us to like, okay, it's like a sporting event. You have to weigh that. Like, that's awesome. That's great. We need that on the BASS side. We need that in the kayaking side as well.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the kayak side, that I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Hobie, Bass Pro Shop, Johnny Morris just bought Hobie.
Did we not predict this?
We did. We did. You're hearing it here second, because we really did predict that Hobie would be bought by.
Hey, you heard it here first, but we broke it after.
Yes. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations. You now almost own everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're like the Jeff Bezos of the outdoor industry. Like, are monopolies just now allowed? This is not like a knock or whatever, but like, holy crap.
They are. It's okay. It's like saying Microsoft's not a monopoly because Linux exists.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you could use Ubuntu. I can.
Yeah. YouTube.
But,
all the best. I hope it works out for them. I hope they actually make the product better, not worse. I mean, look at Nitro. Nitro has gone through ups and downs, and people seem very happy with the 2025 model. So maybe they get to revamp it. But the biggest thing Hobie did was Hobie was like the Walmart FLW deal for the kayak side, where in their prime, it was the payouts were just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to take over like that? Is that the part of the mantle that they will actually pull forward? I don't know. I mean, Hobie kind of lost the ball with the motors being such a big thing and becoming little plastic boats, which is where we're going. You can clip it right now.
We have preached it.
Yeah.
It's little plastic boats. You just might as well get used to it. Oh, speaking of little plastic boats and little boats, the future coming from Japan. Now it's still, I do believe, I don't know if you guys seen this, it's still a fiberglass boat, which again, I believe will go away, but a 15-foot bass boat from Japan is now available in the U.S. I don't remember the name, but I've seen the video, I've seen the ad from it. It's wide enough for two dudes to stand up front, so it's very stable.
All
You
the
know,
I
Asian
wonder what the
size two
price
people.
point is.
yeah. Huh?
I wonder what the price point is on it.
I don't remember what the price point was. I don't even know that it's said. I think it's just kind of building that sort
Okay.
of.
The ever-changing world of bass fishing, everybody, and
Well,
we-
it kind
you
of
know-
comes back to what we were, what we were kind of talking about or getting ready to talk about is,
Yeah.
why are we seeing the ups and downs of,
Yeah. and we've seen a lot of. I mean, even I think that plastic boat man you saw in Tennessee, shit seems like a fuck decade now. That was a heck of a boat, and I think that came from like South Africa or somewhere like that. I mean, it wasn't made in the United States at all. And that boat was like under 10, wasn't it? It was like really pretty inexpensive electric trolling motor. It came with an electric motor and plenty of storage. 2 guys could be on it easy. I mean, it was like,
I think you could put maybe a 10, 15, even up to a 20 gas on it if you wanted to.
oh wow. Also, guys, by now this will be over, but NPFL is back on Logan Martin Lake is where they will be fishing. I'm not sure which stop number is this for them, and I didn't hit a button, but yeah. So NPFL is back for you guys who want to watch, or hopefully you guys all did watch professional bass fishing. We need to get some of the guys on. We haven't really done really well this year on getting the NPFL guys on this year.
Mm-hmm. It's probably because it's all the Elite Series anglers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna fall out, but he's right. That's the thing. They don't need the coverage. They're in the top 5, and the ones that are below that are the NPFL guys that signed up that want the coverage, and they're like, "Dang, we keep getting whooped."
Yeah, I seen a little live deal last night.
Yeah,
and it was Kyle Patrick, Greg Hackney, and my boy Kyle Welcher.
yep. It was Walter Hackney and Patrick Walters.
Patrick Walters, yeah. So
yep.
I was like,
that's who did their live with my boy Ken Burns,
Yeah.
Duke. And that was on last night. They do. I mean, I have to admit it, for what they have, they use all the talents they got, and they put on a great product. So
yeah.
Hopefully you guys all watch the NPFL on Logan Martin. Before we dive into our little conversation tonight, I thought I'd give Thomas the platform for a little bit, and we'll see what the heck's been going on in his world the last couple of weeks while he's been away from us, which has been really sad, by the way. And go ahead.
No, finish out before I start yapping my guns.
And so we're glad to have him back.
It's it was a nice little sabbatical, kind of getting caught up on some life things and some video editing. Got to watch a friend of mine finish in the top 5 in the Toyota series on the Potomac, which was a really good event. Potomac's down a little bit this year. It just feels like there's a calmness right now in the fishing industry as a whole compared to how crazy it was a couple weeks ago, which is the fire and brimstone and forward facing sonar. And that's the biggest pulse I get right now is everyone's kind of either exhausted themselves complaining over the month of August. It's that transition of everyone going hunting and what have you. It's interesting time. I know with the BFLs, a friend, I need to fact check this, but apparently the BFL circuit that had the most anglers participating in it was the Shenandoah division.
Yeah.
Are you shocked at all? Because
No.
I was a little shocked
I'm a
because
little shocked.
Alabama, you thought that would be number 1 or something down south, but no.
Well,
It's
because
Shenandoah
like
division.
the Mountain Division, man, there's normally a ton of people in that one. So
Mhm. And people want to say scoping and things, but to me, it's like that shows you. It's like, well, is it because of where you just have more passionate anglers, or we have anglers with more disposable income right now?
Mm.
I don't know because I don't think the schedule's too good, and especially when you look at next year, Smith Mountain Lake is not a part.
Smith Mountain Lake.
I've heard some different things in the rumor mill, and I don't want to comment on those and why that happened, but It's kind of interesting. You hyped it up for a year and then it's got kicked off. Is it going to be on the regional potentially? That was interesting to me.
Yeah, it's gonna this. So I heard it was a scheduling issue, but then someone else posted under the comment because I shared your schedule, Thomas, that you got, and someone else said that hopefully they're bringing back a big event. So I'll be honest with you guys. Hopefully, you got to come up and meet all the anglers when they were here. But the county loved it. They were excited. They were very happy with their investment. So hopefully we'll see another investment from the county. I would have loved to seen the bass go back to Bugs Island. I'd like to see water in Bugs Island, to be honest, which it's about 10 feet low right now after I went down last weekend. But I would love to see bass come back to Bugs Island. It's a great lake. And we saw a giant spotted bass over the weekend. Nice spots on that thing. A little 5+ pound spotted bass come out of Smith Bugs Island. I mean, so
I'd definitely give it a B plus or an A performance for Bugs Island the past couple of weeks with tournament fishing. I thought the weights looked a lot better.
Yeah. So hopefully things are turning around for down there, and it would be great to see another big event come back because, the Bassmaster Open that showed up there 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, whatever it's been. The county loved that as well. We got great response, and she's ready to write a check. They just got to be able to put it back into the calendar, and it would be great to have them. That was a weird event, man. It went from like day 1, I was wearing 3 hoodies to day 2, I was wearing 2 hoodies to day 4. Day 3, I was wearing shorts. I mean, that was a quite interesting weather-wise event, but it was an awesome event, and it was great to see a lot of people come out that probably don't really. I saw my cousin. I mean, she came out, and her husband watched one of the weigh-ins, and she knows nothing about bass fishing, but it was just something for the community, and they got to come out and watch. So, all right, Geek. Anything in your world real quick? Like Geek said, we're gonna play a little audio clip here. It's about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're gonna discuss it, and then we're gonna wrap up tonight's show. But Geek, you got the stage.
Yeah, man, we're gonna finally be putting videos out again tomorrow, or well, as of last Thursday, by the time you guys hear this. So it's been a rough month. We crossed, I should say, we limped across the 90K line, beaten and battered. Didn't really even get to celebrate it because September, as sometimes I refer to September as Sucktember. So it seems to always get me for some reason, but hey, whatever, we're here. So that's about the best news I got. So the first video, if you guys haven't seen it, Booyah Bait Company allowed me to design my own color. It's called the Geek Shad. It got released this month, and you guys can go check it out in that video. So we talk about it, and I put 40 plus years of Clearwater popper fishing to work.
Well, we're excited to see that.
Wow.
So, pretty neat. That was an honor.
What was that like?
It was pretty simple for me because I pretty much knew what I wanted. Like, I was like, when they first approached me, I was like, man, I was just kind of in shock. So I was like, man, I don't know. And then literally like 15 minutes later, it's like, I want this, and I want this, I want this, and this, and it needs to be this treble this way. And they were like, I thought you said you didn't know what you wanted. And then a few months later, they sent a little video of the prototype painted up. And I was like, that is beautiful.
That is awesome, D.
So is picking the colors out like going to pick out drapes with your wife? Is there like a bunch of little cards on a color wheel, and do you like this color, mix and match?
I took some pictures of some other baits, the exact colors, like, for the back and all this, and kind of, sent it to them and was like, I want this, do this. Some of them, they didn't really know. I was like, do this on the side, but it has to be really kind of translucent, like this kind of pearlescent sort of version of that color, and incandescent maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, and man, they nailed it. Like they freaking nailed it the first try. Like he sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh, send me 30."
That is awesome, dude.
That was so cool.
That's cool. I mean, it really is. I mean, you know,
cool.
it really is cool for, you know, all your hard work and like you said, the 40 years you've been involved in fishing.
I already caught 2 fish on it, so
boom. All right, well, look for that video coming out really, really soon. You said in October, correct?
That video, it will be out, or when you guys hear it, it will be the last Thursday's video. So
all right, so we'll have it already shared to the basscast.com, all social media platforms, and hopefully you guys have all checked it out and head on over and purchase the bait. Geek gets a penny from each sale.
No, unfortunately, I don't get a damn dime. But you know, it's an honor. So
that is awesome. All right, we're gonna play this.
I mean, Booyah Bait Company let me design.
I mean, I was at the Classic and Booyah gave away a freaking truck. I mean, my God, it's wrapped in bad, jacked up. That thing was bad as all get out. So I mean, Booyah's Booyah knows how to get people excited and pumped up.
And they even named it the Geek Shad, which I love. You know, that's cool.
That's so cool. All right, here we go, everybody.
Why anglers quit fishing and what we can do about it. Less than half of all licensed anglers renew their fishing license each year. To identify how to boost angler retention rates, we must answer the question, why do many anglers quit? What do they do in the years when they do not fish and why? And how can we encourage anglers to keep fishing? An American Sport Fishing Association, ASA study, funded by a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service grant using sport fishing restoration excise tax dollars, provided insights and recommendations about why anglers often quit fishing and what we can do about it. This project, conducted in 2024, was based on insights gained through surveys of active and former anglers, made possible with the assistance of 24 state fisheries agencies. Understanding why anglers often quit fishing is aided by knowing why they originally started fishing. Previous ASA research showed top motivations to fish include fun/excitement, relaxation, to socialize with others, to be outdoors. All anglers don't seek all these motivating factors, but most want to achieve one or more when fishing. Lapsed anglers do not dislike fishing, but they perceive other activities as better at providing the fun, relaxing, social outdoor benefits sought from a day of recreation. Often, other recreational activities are chosen if they are seen as easier to learn, more convenient, or preferred by family and friends. Another way of looking at this is a lack of basic fishing skills, not knowing where to fish, and not having someone to fish with are critical problems causing many would-be anglers to find other ways to spend their dollars and time. Beginning adult anglers are less enthusiastic and quicker to quit in favor of other activities. Fishing can require specialized knowledge and equipment not available to beginners. Promoting the social and fun benefits of fishing are key for recruiting new anglers, but ensuring new anglers successfully catch fish may be critical for retaining them. Catching a fish is important to the decision to fish again. By finally catching a fish, many then discover and embrace the thrills unique to fishing. It doesn't have to be a trophy either. A solo bluegill can be enough to open the world of fishing to a new angler, especially kids. Give them a moment to hold and examine or meet the fish. In my experience, having a young angler name the fish before returning it adds to the experience. Just as important as catching that first fish is a mentor. That person does not need to be an expert, but fishing with an experienced angler or obtaining input and support from experts is critical to winning and retaining new anglers. What competes for anglers' attention and often successfully steals them away? Other outdoor activities. Fishing's primary competition is outdoor activities such as camping, boating without fishing gear, swimming, hiking, and more are our top competitors. And they will win if our anglers see these activities as providing a greater net level of fun, relaxing, and social time outdoors. Indoor recreational activities, including video games, shopping, and cooking, ranked 10th out of the 15 alternative activities we tested. Many former anglers said they did not have time to fish. That's hooey. Each day still has 24 hours. Not enough time means that they found other activities which provided more of the fun, relaxation, social, and outdoor benefits they want from a day of recreation. Travel distance, not knowing where to fish, and not having someone to fish with are greater barriers for lapsed anglers under 34 years old versus older anglers. Females ranked fishing as being more difficult to learn and more expensive compared to other recreational activities. Many lapsed anglers report fishing is still their top preferred activity, even in the years they do not fish. Recommendations to keep people fishing include: take them fishing. Help new and lapsed anglers know where, when, and how to fish locally, in person whenever possible. Do all you can to help beginners have success in catching fish. Avoid sending them after trophy or game fish. They probably do not have the same expectations as you regarding what makes a good catch, when it is not possible to match new or lapsed anglers with other anglers. Develop fishing programs and promotions to encourage people to attend with friends and family. Take fishing education efforts where friends and social networks already exist, e.g., schools, scouts, camps. Provide information that helps them succeed in catching fish. To retain somewhat experienced anglers, helping them learn how to catch more and/or larger fish may be key in retaining anglers. Partner with local tackle retailers. They are a top trusted source of local fishing information and support. Help friends make plans to fish with friends. Novices want info on gear selection and how to clean and cook fish. Females were more likely to want lessons on knots. The future of fishing depends on people like us, those who know fishing and depend on it for a livelihood, to be engaged, to help introduce new anglers and keep our current anglers fishing. Not only does it help protect our future, but watching someone's face when they catch their first fish is worth the trip. Don't forget to have fun out there. Tight lines. Why anglers quit fishing and what we can do about it.
All right, there you guys go. So I want to thank, this is from American Sports Academy, by the way, ASA. 11 Labs did the audio for us, so thank you to both of them. But yeah, I mean, if you get back to it, teaming up with another angler, I will say that that's been the biggest thing that I've heard over the last couple of years. My partner passed away. I couldn't find a fishing partner that fished my style or my strength. So I decided to drop out and just moved on because, you know, and I'm taking this as a tournament angler side of it. And I'll let the other guys kind of dive in and give their 2 cents on this as well. But it is true. You know, that's true with anything, to be honest, on having friends. I mean, you know, you get a bunch of women, they all go to work at the same job, get a new employee. She kind of falls in the loop. Sometimes guys fall in the loop as well. My friends at work like watching tractor pulls. Next thing you know, you're at a tractor pull. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it really does happen. I mean, you know, or the female, she likes some Amazon crap. And next thing you know, she's buying Amazon. So, I mean, you know, it's just the way it's life. I mean, you know, and it's the ecosystem and who your surroundings are. And usually who our surroundings are, 90% of the, probably more than our husband or wife, is work. So having a fishing partner or a friend, I mean, you know, you used to see back in the day, you saw like the books or whatever, and it was 2 kids. You never saw a book with 1 kid going down the road with a fishing pole on his back. Usually it's 2 or 3 boys. And that's including me. I mean, heck, when I went fishing as a kid, it was always either a family event or me and 3 neighborhood guys will walk over to a lake and we'll go fishing in a canoe and then come back home. So
yeah,
you
it's
really
culture.
What's that?
It's culture. It's the culture that you grew up in, and what's being formatted for the next generation. And I think it's a regional thing is a classic. So everyone knows where I grew up in Northern Virginia. Believe it or not, just when I was a wee lad in Western Loudoun County, there used to be things called farms and pastures and ponds. Fast forward, it's all vineyards and it's all little areas to house data centers now. that's what we have. And everyone flies in from California and LA and places like that. And you lose that culture, because when you lose access to ponds, when you lose that farmland, when you lose the ability to go out there, knock on that door, say, hey, can I go catch a bluegill? Well, that's severed and that can't be brought back. And I think that's what we're dealing with in microcosm here. It's sad. It really, really is. It needs to be a bigger push of not just the local governments pushing that we need to get kids involved. They need to have the access to be able to go out there and do it as well. And I think culture right now definitely needs it, especially with all of the spicy things that have been happening around the world. We all know what they are. We need to go touch some grass, metaphorically speaking. And this is a great time, if anybody in power had half a brain, to do a big marketing campaign of go outside, touch some grass, go fishing, go hunting. But how do you do that when there's a sign that says no trespassing? And it's sad. It sucks. I don't know what can be done.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, for me, I did a lot of deep sea fishing growing up, but my family owned a farm. We fished, Sunday afternoons, Saturday afternoons. We went to the farm. We helped out a little bit around the farm, and then everybody went down and went fishing. And it was a couple acre pond, and you see us all around there catching a little bluegill. Then when we moved, a neighbor had a pond in front of his house. I know he's long gone, so we snuck on his property while he was at work, and we fished. And then we went to there was another lake. It was maybe half a mile away from that house we went to. So I mean, and like Thomas says, you got residential neighborhoods around lakes now that have all grown up. I know the swimming pool that was on this lake is gone. So I haven't been over there in, I ain't gonna lie, guys, probably 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what all's been built up around there now. Yeah. But, people always ask, don't you have a pond to fish on? What's a pond anymore?
Man, and, geographic reasons, there's not really any ponds. And geographic reasons, it's very hard to bank fish in my area. Even your rivers, it's in the mountains, it's in the valleys. It's very steep, rough terrain, and you just can't just go, walking out to the side of the, creek or river. So I grew up fishing out of a boat, but even when you say that, like, I didn't grow up fishing out of a bass boat. I grew up fishing out of a 12 or 14 foot ugly ass green John boat that leaked, and you had to bail while you fished all day. Me and my brother and my best friend, and old motor guide trolling motor, and some Bill Dance special Shakespeare rods, and whatever was the hot bait that Rowan or whoever was telling us about. And we just went out all day and stayed on a little electric motor only lake that you might have seen 3 other boats if you were lucky in the day.
Right.
We just went out and fished all day. And I mean, and even later on, I mean, that's what I did until I was literally, I fished out of a John boat like that until I was probably 30, unless I went with somebody, and, finally bought my first used bass boat, and, gave $12,000 for that and sold it for $8,000. And I mean, it had more drafts on it than the boat was worth, but,
yeah, so much of it comes down to that, and the culture issue that we have here, especially again from my area, dealing with young athletes and stuff. It's become such a big business to tell a 4-year-old that you're going to be the next running back or the next pitcher for the New York Yankees, and you got to play travel ball 24/7, and you tell them. And I had kids I would offer, because my family had a pond in the backyard. They had no farm. And so I'd be like, you can go fish it. And they're like, well, we can't, because we got to go to this game and this game. And there's no time to go fishing anymore. And so the idea of just being a kid and going hunting or fishing with your parents, like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. And again, that's probably regional based, but it's becoming a thing. And you look at why is high school and college fishing successful in a way? Because you're kind of feeding that parental, I don't know, mind virus of this is an outlet for your kid to become a superstar and to get a college scholarship and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of working in the sense you're getting kids more involved because they think there's an outlet, there's a career and a job at the end of the rainbow. But is that also only catering to the 1%? What about the kid that just wants to do it for fun? I feel like those people are getting left behind by what this bass movement is. And Brian, we saw this in baseball too, when they're like, oh shit, no one wants to play anymore. Whoops. It's like, yeah, but that's a generational thing you just lost out on. Like you can't just snap your fingers and fix that. And the person that would have to do this is Johnny Morris. I think it's not a tournament organization. It'd be like a Johnny Morris going in there to different places. And Virginia, our area, is a great place because we have the money to do it. He should go into a place like this and try to really push that culture change. Because I think if you did that in a generation or two, you would get that fruit.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a major reinvestment into it. I mean, you guys all know for who get Bassmaster magazine, you know, they kind of pushed it a little bit the last couple of years, Get Outdoors, their outdoor program. And they kind of catered just a little bit more to fishing. They did the kayak fishing as well. But they also did, you know, some other outdoor activities as well, just trying to get kids outdoors. But, you know, the NFL has done a great job the last couple of years with the kids, flag football. We've seen that. So there's, and you're right. You know, that's, you know, I don't want to be bad on this one right here, but, you know, what you were talking about there, Thomas, in baseball, it's how we got so many names we can't really read and understand anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? David Wright and, you know, Mark McGuire and all their names are gone. It's Pedro and Hernandez. And because, you know, I'm not saying nothing bad. They're awesome as crap, but they can play ball all year. And, you know, they just love the freaking sport. And it's a sport they can play all year. So, I mean, it's, you know, and that's what's done happened. So, but, you know, baseball is starting to come back around a little bit more. But football has probably done the best of all of them over the last few years of recruiting young kids back into the sport. And that's what we're going to have to do in professional bass fishing. But then you get into it, like we've had that conversation again. Are we getting into professional bass fishing? Or where, you know, it's the best of the best and it's no longer.
Yeah. And to all my Boomer and Randy Blockett guys out there, this is where I agree with you, where video games took over because we basically forced kids to stay in the house. You know, there was no, I think the term, colloquial terms like door key or key lock kid, where you just go home, you have a key, you can just go run the neighborhood. I got to run the damn neighborhood. And you could go out on adventures, go into the woods, go fishing and stuff. How many parents, honestly, would let their 12 to 13-year-old just, here's a rod, go fishing? That's dead. And so they helped build the video game culture by saying you're locked in the damn house. 20 years later, video games are the biggest hobby that there is. So how do you unspin that? How do you let kids just go outside again? Can we even do that? Has society changed too much?
Yeah, I don't know. That's as far as the kids go, that's a tough one. I think they're doing a good job getting the youth involved, whether it be kayak tournaments or bass boat tournaments. But, and I mean, I still think, you know, we've had this conversation before, you know, the older guys or, you know, the guys that are, you know, 25, 35 that are, you know, out there hoping to, you know, be a bass pro, those days are probably over. They're pretty well over and gone. I think that's going to become less and less likely as we see the kids come in. And I think they're doing a good job building that. But, you know, a parallel for me, I think there's a lot. And I think I went through this because, you know, I didn't always, you know, when I was fishing, even though I call it tournament style fishing, you know, where we use artificials and we're breaking down the water and all that stuff, whether you're tournament fishing or where you just do that for fun. You're not throwing a minnow out there, you know.
Right.
So, you know, for me, I know as I got older and started discovering kind of actual tournament fishing, because I didn't have a group of people that tournament fished. There was no, I didn't have an immediate family that barely fished, and there was no extended friends or family that fished tournaments at all. So the only time I ever seen tournaments is when I catch one on, Bassmaster, and I really didn't understand it, until I was older. But something that coaching football for years at the smallest level that runs a parallel to me is that seeing, you're not getting, I'm sorry, but you're not getting the greatest coaches at that level, the smallest level.
Yeah.
And I think you get a lot of young coaches, and some coaches get offensive coordinator jobs, or they get head coaching jobs and run offenses that their personnel that they have sort of disposed reasons to run, and it just doesn't work with the personnel that they have. And that was something that even when I started coaching, I was like, oh, man, if it was me, I'd run this offense. And then as I started learning, I was like, okay, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
we don't have that personnel. And so I need to adapt to that and understand that, it doesn't work. Well, something that I've learned of being around tournament fishing now for, really 20, 30 years at this point, is that there's a lot of people, especially those older guys, who I think they remember fishing as a kid, and then they see these guys like, Larry Nixon or Greg Hackney back in the day, and they go, damn, I could make a living fishing. It's fishing. It's easy. There's a lot there, believe it or not, there's a lot of those guys, and to be honest, it was probably one of the first reasons that attracted me to tournament fishing. I was like, shit, I catch fish. You're not really understanding everything behind it, but you come to the realization that there's a lot more behind it. And you get these guys, and I can name countless people that I know that went out and bought boats and all these baits. And now guess what? 5-10 years of just doing it hardcore all the time, they realize they're not going to be the next Kevin Van Dam. Mm-hmm. And I've got friends who the only motivation they have to go fishing is tournament fishing. And I get it. It's like gambling. Listen, I bet on football every single year. Man, it's a rush. It makes the games a hell of a lot funner. I honestly think gambling would help fishing. We need. Why are we not betting on fishing tournaments? Why do we not have gambling in fishing? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, and this is something too. Yeah.
But you have a lot of people that come in for certain reasons, and they may not all be, I love fishing. It may be, I love the thought of fishing, or I love the thought of maybe having a chance to go do this, and your skill level just isn't there. And I know a guy who, he was a hardcore angler, fished all the time. Now he's got a pontoon boat and he crappie fishes and drinks beer all the time while he's out there on the water, and that's it. He cares absolutely nothing. Used to have his own, saw plastic company, cares nothing for it anymore. And I think he come to the realization, if you get serious, even at the regional level, you're spending a lot of time away from family.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that hurt his relationship with his wife. I think it's hurt a lot of relationships with his wife. I got another guy who I know who, he quit because, and he caught what should have been the state record smallmouth off South Holston, the Virginia state record, well over 6 pounds or something. I don't even remember. There used to be a video out there, but didn't even go weigh it in, man. Just put it on the scales and let it go because he was practicing for a tournament. He sold all his stuff and spends his time with his daughter and his wife.
Yeah. Go ahead, Thomas.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze. When we talk about the time away from home, like I think that the athletes that spend the most time away from home comment section will kill me on this, but I believe it's baseball players because it starts in February, and depending on how good your season is, you quite literally aren't home until November-ish. And then if you're out of the country even longer, at least football sometimes you go home. But the average salary is $300,000, and so you and your family can justify like, yeah, daddy's gone for a while, but we'll be set for a generation or two. You're making McDonald's salary, Starbucks barista salary for a lot of guys that make this jump to become a professional fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
There is no justification in your own household for that unless you're the 1%ers. And again, I made this statement about different things in the industry, but there's a veneer. And when that veneer is broken on whether it's an everyman sport or everyone has a chance, once that is broken in the general populace and you look at it, oh, this is just expensive, degenerate gambling, that's going to have a huge drop off in attendance. It just is. And I think what we're seeing now, because of the economy, because of how expensive everything is getting, people are starting to see it for what it was. Back in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, when everything was good, everything was relatively, not expensive. There was money in the sport. I got a little bit of money in the bank. You had that optimism that this could work or we could do this. That's all gone now. And we're seeing that, I think, in real time. And I'm nervous the next couple of years, especially 2026, what this will look like, a year from now when we have this conversation.
Well, and I mean, you look at any sport, okay, it's not going to support in 3 professional leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my opinion is the worst thing for the sport. I mean, it needs to be narrowed down to one true league, professional league that probably has 50 guys fishing.
Yeah, but you need the minor league system to also pay out too.
Yes.
And that's what's go for it.
If you're able to focus it down, and I hate it, man. That means job loss and less of an opportunity, but there should be less opportunity. It's a damn pro sport. I mean, that's what you want, right? Well, guess what? This is how pro sports run.
Yep.
Guys, we've talked about that so many freaking times, and we talked about it with the Major League Fishing shrinking their numbers down for 2026 to good, comfortable levels. What they say to help promote the anglers is what they say. So, I mean, it is true, And what's that?
No, I agree with you, and I just want to keep hitting the head. It's not just the highest level. People in AAA baseball make a living. People in AA baseball can make enough. And the thing is, if you want people to get invested, that they have a shot, you have to make sure that there's some money there for them. The BFLs are shrinking. The Toyota payouts are shrinking. All that's shrinking. That's your next generation. And so if they're like, yeah, screw this, there's no shot in me doing well. I mean, look at Brody. Like, it's boring to do accounting, but if he sat down with his accounting with all the wins, does he make money? Does he break even? Where is he at? Like, and he just had probably one of the best seasons in human history. What if it's just a normal mere mortal? Like, you can't make money at it. So you're saying go into crippling debt stuff to maybe one day make the big time? That's preposterous. That's crazy. And yeah, here we are with the industry. And I'm not just going to knock fishing, baseball, football, they do this too. I mean, they tell kids and indoctrinate them at 6 years old to go full time. And that's why the burnout rate is so crazy that people don't even want to play high school sports anymore. They're like, yeah, I've been doing this since I was 6. I'm I'm done with this. It's stupid.
Yeah, like you said that, Thomas, travel ball, American Legion ball. I remember all this stuff. Holy cow. So, I mean, and then the parents are gone. You're gone every freaking weekend.
For 12-year-olds are getting Tommy John surgery. Like,
for that 1% to make it to minor league ball. We're not even talking about professional ball. We're just talking about minor league ball. That small percentage make it to play minor league ball. So, well, guys, we thought, take a listen. We appreciate you guys listening to tonight's show. And the little bit that we played tonight, like I said, it really is, we kind of wonder where we're heading in the next couple of years. We've seen the young kids that have taken it on as a job and as a full-time sport, the ones that can do it. will these young kids start reaching out to more kids? You know what I'm saying? Well, let's, I don't know what the cure is right now, to be honest. I
Well,
mean,
this is something that we've talked about too. To me, it's like, why do I love football so much? Well, it's because I played it in high school.
yeah.
Not everybody's going to be a pro, but a lot of people that play the sport will be a fan of it. And
Right.
I think that's what you'll see rising as we see, because look, high school and college fishing is doing well. I mean, it's doing well. So and I think that's sort of the turn, the old school 35-year-old rookies are being played.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Have fun.
Well,
like just try to have fun. And this is when I was story is, I told all the kids and stuff, because I was a strength and conditioning coach or whatever with my own business, and I just told them, it's like, my job here is not just to make you the best athlete. It's like, once you're done playing, you still want to go to the gym, because this is your temple. This is where you can go after your wife is mad at you, your kids are assholes, and you can just listen to some music and rock out. And this should just be something you enjoy and something that you can have the rest of your life. And I feel like so much of it is all or nothing, and you get the burnout. And let this still be fun to you. And
I agree.
It's sad. In that sense, it is sad.
I tell people all the time, it's why, look, I'm not fishing tournaments right now. I'm just out there to have a good time, to catch the best 5 I can catch. And you know what helps me do that? Forward facing sonar. And that's why I'm good with it.
Yeah, and that's why I float. That's why I'm a river smallmouth junkie. I got, the upper Potomac in my backyard. I mean, you just float the river, listen to some reggae, catch a bunch of smallmouth, and you can vibe. And
catching is fun.
Catching is fun.
Sucks.
All right, we're gonna end it there. So, guys, really like your feedback and your opinion on all this, and where your thoughts are for professional fishing in the next few years. I mean, where are we gonna be? How are we going to bring up the next generation? I mean, like you said, the college kids are doing great. I mean, there's 200 and some boats in some of these college events. So, I mean, the college fishing is doing great. And we are starting to see some of the older anglers, I hate to say it, get pushed on out the door.
Yeah.
And go to the nursing home called the NPFL.
Jesus, man.
Seniors League.
Seniors League. We brought that up as well. But, I mean, that still want to be involved, just still don't like the forward-facing sonar, and just want to go fish. It's there. And that is still the cool, best thing until everybody kind of gets on the same page. That is the reason why we have 3 leagues. NPFL, because of forward-facing sonar, pretty much is it. And the catch, away, and release that the Bass Pro Series has as well. So, guys, thank you for listening. Appreciate you guys giving us your listening ear. Before we leave, anybody got any parting words?
You love me, you hate me, all my crap. Go check me out fishing the DMV.
Yeah, just keep trying to be a catcher. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
In 2025, that does have a different connotation to it.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that didn't come out right.
Hey, guys, in the words of Bruce Callis, take a kid fishing and
use them for an anchor? No,
don't use them for an anchor. But take a kid fishing, and I know I want to wrap it up with this part. I know it's so hard, and the high school kids, that's been a killer here in Central Virginia. There's not enough boat captains. The boat captains want to fish, but they don't want to help the kids. Yep, go ahead, Thomas.
Okay, so
yeah,
again, huge rant here. Money is spent in the worst place when it comes to youth. It's why are you paying the high school coach all the money? Because who you need to be paying, in my opinion, is the step below that. You have parents doing the daddy ball, and it's the same thing in fishing. You need to be paying these people that are getting a college education in child development and coaching. They should be your little league coaches. They should be teaching, because that's where you have to cultivate the love and the fundamentals. And it's the same thing in fishing. As you get up there in the league, I am not trying to take away from high school coaches, but it's that first level when you drop your child off in the sports, and it's some dad God bless his soul, that doesn't have that training. Please, let's do that in fishing. I'm done.
All right.
And speaking about not having enough coaches, the other thing about it is, man, you know, let's face it, tournament fishing is a high school click heavy event. Even at our age, the BFLs, there are guys. I commented, somebody said something the other day and made a comment saying, you need to go fishing with an old head to learn some tricks. Well, hell, most old heads don't want to show you their tricks. They like for you to donate to the tournament so they can win. So they don't share.
And that creates the toxicity that you get in the next generation, because that's what they learn. And then it just repeats.
We could talk forever, but we're going to end it right here. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you all right back here on Basscast Radio.